This evening, I have the pleasure of introducing somebody very important, not only to my life, but to several lives in our community. He's homegrown, obviously. He's a family member. I'll do some of his bio. It's really, really long. I don't want to leave anything out or miss anything, so do bear with me. So, Harbin Council was born and raised in Camden, South Carolina. He is a gold and black wearing Camden Bulldog. And if my memory stays correct, he is still our leading scorer, or at least top 3 in our leading scorers of all time. I don't want to be correct. He is the lead. Let me be correct, because he's going to get on me about that. He's a graduate of the class of 1980. He was awarded a basketball scholarship to Jacksonville University in Jacksonville, Florida. He earned a Bachelor of Science degree in education. He is married to the former Cheryl Montgomery from Brunswick, Georgia. Harbin and Cheryl have been married since July of 1989. They have 4 children: Latera, Jay, Crystal, and Joshua. They have 5 grandchildren: Shaylin, Zoe, Aiden, Seth, and Jackson. In the mid-1990s, Harbin started several programs, including Vision Basketball Academy, Vision Academy Mentor Program, the South Carolina Runners AAU Basketball, and the South Carolina Runners AAU Basketball Organization. His latest endeavors include motivational sessions and life coaching entitled Off the Court with the Harbin Council. He's the author of 7 books, including titles such as Unlocking the Door to Success, Journey to Success, Quotes for Success, Off the Court, Success Under Construction, and Walking Through the Storms of Life, and the Playbook. He has received numerous awards for his service, such as Key to the City of Atlanta, Community Schools Outstanding Service Award, the South Carolina State Youth Specialist of the Year Award. He's been nominated by parents for the WO2X Making a Difference in My Community Award, the Mayor Francie Harper Humanitarian Award for exemplary service to humankind, Man of Strength Award from 100 Men Strong, Omega Citizen of the Year Award, the Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Commitment and Service Award. Harbin has dedicated his adult years to serving others, and he is passionate about helping others to reach their full potential and live an abundant life. His motto is, I want to make a difference doing something that makes a difference at a time that makes a difference with people who make a difference. So without much further ado, please give a round of applause and give a warm welcome to our very own Harbin Council.
Okay, good evening, everybody. First of all, I want to thank Jarrell for asking me and giving me this opportunity to come and share a few words with you guys. So far, since I've been here, everything has been great, man. Look like they put a lot of hard work into this, and I'm really impressed with what they've done up until this point. The video was outstanding. I know that takes a lot of work to get that done. A lot of research and that type of thing, but again, I'm just happy to be here to be a part of this Mathis reunion. And I'm going to share a few things with you real quick. I'm not going to stay long. A lot of times when I speak, I had an old lady to tell me one time, when you speak, you need to be brief and you need to be seated. So I'm going to be brief and I'm going to be seated. I'm not going to take very long, so you can keep doing what you're doing. But I want to share a little bit with you about the importance of family, okay? About the importance of family. And I want to start off with telling you a little story about when I was growing up here in Camden. I was about 12, and my mom and I, we lived in Camden at the time, but my grandfather had a farm down in the Pittsburgh Crossroad area, up on Jenkins Hill. And some of y'all might know where that is. So we call it Jenkins Hill. And so every Saturday morning during tobacco season, my mom would wake us up and get us up, and we would have to come down to Jenkins Hill and help out the family on the farm with the tobacco. Okay, so they had a group that cracked the tobacco. They had another group that took the tobacco and put it on the trailer. They had some people that were at the barn where the tobacco was to be strung up and hung up. But I share this with you, and believe me, I didn't want to get up and go down there. All right, I was 12 years old. I'm like, man, I don't have time for this. This is hard work. All right, but the thing I want to share from that story is that when I saw my family all come together, even though it was my grandfather's farm, it was his tobacco, he had sisters and brothers that lived over there on the hill, nieces and nephews and everybody. The beauty of the whole thing was everybody came together to help Grandpa in his field with that tobacco. All right, and the thing that I noticed that nobody ever complained. They were talking to each other. It was fellowship. It was just helping everybody out. And I look back at us today, a lot of times, man, when it comes to family getting together, when it comes to family helping each other out, it's not like it used to be. Okay? And we've got to get that back. All right? We've got to get that back. There were times when they could discipline you, they could say things to you, and you wouldn't take it personally, or you wouldn't get offended about it. All right? But now, if somebody came up to you and said something to somebody the wrong way, guess what? We want to fight. We want to argue. We want to fuss. But they didn't do that back then. All right? They brought all this thing together. And that's what we got to get back to. We got to get back to family. We got to get back to bringing it all together and sticking together and being a strong advocate for each other. Okay? And it's like power when we all come together. And I'm going to share this example with you about power. Okay, about power. I don't know if you guys saw the movie Malcolm X. Did anybody see that movie by Spike Lee and Malcolm X? All right, there's a scene in the movie where this young man gets hurt. All right, this young black man gets hurt. All right, and he was taken to jail and he needed medical attention. But the officers did not want to give him the medical attention that he needed. So somebody went back and told Malcolm. All right, so Malcolm and his entourage of men, all right, decided that they were going to march down to City Hall, all right, and help this man get help. All right, so he got all his men together. They had their little black suits on with their bow ties, and they all went down in the middle of the street, all right, down to City Hall. All right, so now Malcolm gets to City Hall. His men are standing at attention with their hands behind their back. All right, so Malcolm goes up the steps. He goes into the City Hall. He tells the officers that you got a guy here that needs medical attention, and I need him to be taken to the hospital. So what happens next is that the officers didn't want to give him the medical help. So Malcolm says, I suggest you look out the window. And when he looked out the window, you know what he saw? He saw all those men standing at attention. And he knew at that time that he had to let that man get the help that he needed. Because he wasn't going to be able to beat all those guys standing out there at attention. But they didn't come to fight. They didn't come to fight, they came together. And when you come together, you can move mountains, man. So guess what happened? So now the young man gets to go to the hospital to get the medical help he needs. And as Malcolm was walking down the steps, there was 2 police officers standing on the steps. And you know what the police officer said when Malcolm walked by? Did anybody see the movie? You know what he said?
Too much power.
Say it loud. He said he's got too much power. But it wasn't Malcolm who had the power. It was all them coming together that had the power. And that's what happens with a family when we all come together. You got power. Okay? You can do a lot of things if you come together. Okay? You got power. It's like I always use the example of Roger. Can I borrow you for a minute? I'm sorry to get you up out your seat, man. But anyway, I like to use this example of how much power we got by using my hand to hit somebody with. And if you look at my hand is open. Okay? Now, I ain't hit you too hard, so don't hit me back. Okay? All right? So I hit Roger like that with my hand open. All right? So now I close my hand together. All right? And I hit it with the same force with my fist closed that I did with my hand open. And which one hurt most? He said the one with the fist. You know why the one? Okay, thank you. You know why the one with the fist hurt the most? Because it came together. First time I hit it, my hands is spread apart. Okay? I don't have much power when it's apart like this. But when you bring it together, you got power. Okay? You got power. Okay? You think about every time Martin Luther King Jr. marched, when he was walking somewhere, who did they have with him? He had a group of people with him. That's where the power came from. And I'm saying this to family. We've got to get back to that where we got power. Okay? We got to be lifting each other up all the time. All right? There's going to be times when somebody's going to be wearing something heavy on them. All right? He or she needs to be able to come to one of the family members and share what I'm going through. I'm going through this, and we need to be there to lift them up as they go through it. But right now, we don't want to say anything to anybody when we got all this weight on our shoulders. We walk around with our head down. When we got families right here that should be able to reach out and touch us and lift us back up. Okay? My wife and I saw a movie last night. And in the movie, it was a young man that had been going through a lot of different things. All right? Had a lot of weight on his shoulder. Okay? And he was in the room with a lot of men. All right? And those men were there to support him. All right? So what they did with the young man is they told him to stand in the center of the room. And when he stood in the center of the room, what he did was they handed him a sword. All right? They handed him a sword. And the sword wore about 20 pounds. All right? So he told him to hold the sword and hold your hand out with the sword. All right? And as he had the sword hold out like this, the man kept talking. All right? And as he was talking, the sword was getting heavy. All right? And his hands started to drop. All right? And as his hands started to drop, the other men stepped in, and you know what they did? They lift his hand back up. All right? They lift. So you don't have to carry all this weight around on your shoulder by yourself. All right? Family members should step in there. Every time you start leaning, they ought to be able to step in and pick you back up again. Okay? But now as men, when we got all this stuff going on, we don't like to talk. We don't like to tell nobody. We macho. We're going to get it done. We'll get it done. And you suffering and you losing and you still won't say nothing. Now the women going to talk. They going to say what they got to say. Men, we got to come together, man. We got to find that support group, all right, that we can go and talk to when I got a problem, all right? Because men don't like to talk about their problem because we problem solvers. At least that's what we are most of the time. We problem solvers. We want to solve this problem ourselves. You can't solve every problem by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has a gift in here, man. So you know what? If I'm going through something, it's somebody in this room that can help me because I know they done been through it. But they don't know you've been through it if you don't say nothing. You got to say something to them, man. Okay? How am I doing so far? Ain't nobody say amen or nothing. I know we're not in church, but say something, man. Let me know how I'm doing. And if you do that, I guarantee you I'll do better. All right? I'll do better. Okay? All right. But the next thing, like I said, I'm going to be short, man. I'm going to be, Dre already told me I had 10 minutes, so I'm going to stick 15 on it. Okay? But the next thing is time. Time. Time is all you got. All right. My watch says it's 7:55 right now. I don't have 7:56. I hope I have 7:56, but I don't know if I'm gonna have 7:56. Time is all you got. You need to enjoy now and live now and in the present. Okay? You can't wait till you get to a certain point and say, you gotta live now. Okay? You gotta live now. Because that's all you got. And guess what? When that time is gone, you think you'll get it back? No, you're not gonna get it back. On the way coming here, I just found out a guy I used to work with, 53 years old, just died. 53. I'm a little bit older than 53, but I'm like, man. When I was coming up, I thought 50 was old. But now when I turned 50, I'm like, man, that's too old. But I thought it was old back then. But it's not old now. Okay? So we gotta operate right now. We gotta tell our family members we love them right now. Don't wait till they're in the casket and you trying to crawl up in there with them. No, this is the time now. You don't have tomorrow. All you got is right now. You tell them you love them, man. All right? Don't wait till the last minute. Just like the pastor said a few minutes ago when he was up here, we're going to drive all the way. Well, we right here by our family, and we want to go see them. We want to go see them, man. We got to get back, family. We got to get back. That's why I appreciate what you guys are doing here, man. All right? But this is a beautiful thing when all you guys can come together like this, man. All right? And I pray that you keep that going. I pray that you keep that going. Okay? And then, one thing I want to share too, I saw where on the program there was some graduates or some individuals that may be going on to the next level. I want to share one thing with you to those people that are graduates or going to the next level. All right? Don't be afraid to try when you get out there, when you get ready to take that next step. Don't be afraid to try. Okay? Don't be afraid to try. You know what 2 Timothy 1:7 says? Everybody ought to know what that says. You know what it says? It says, for God has not given us a what? Spirit of fear. Don't be afraid. God, if you're afraid, God didn't give it to you. You're just afraid because you're afraid. Okay? You're just afraid because you're afraid. It says God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of what? Power, love, and a sound mind. Why are you afraid? Why are you afraid? He gave it to you. You don't have to be afraid. Step out there. And you know what? When you step out there, you may fall sometime. And I always say, if you fall in life, land on your back. Because if you land on your back, you can look up. And if you look up, you can get up. All right? So get out there and try it. Don't just sit still. Don't be afraid. There was a poem. Anybody else seen the movie Coach Carter? There was a scene in the movie where this guy named Cruz, Coach Carter kept asking about what is your deepest fear? What is your deepest fear? But anyway, what is your deepest fear? It's a poem. It is a poem by Marianne Williamson. And it says that our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our life and our darkness that frightens us. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightening about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure. It's not just in some of us, but it's in all of us. And when we allow our light to shine, we unconsciously give permission to others to do the same. All right? So in that poem, why are you playing small? Okay? Why are you playing small? Why are you shrinking back? Okay? Don't shrink back. Just, if you can make A's, make A's. Just because Billy Bob making D's and F's, all right? You don't have to hang up with Billy Bob because he's making D's and F's. All right? See, you bottom down with Billy Bob. Let Billy Bob come up the way you are. You make A's and keep making A's and then get him and drag him up with you. But what we have a propensity to do is we have a propensity to go down to where they're at. Okay? Go up, man. God has given you a spirit of fear. Go up. Don't let anybody tell you what you can't do. I can do all things too. Who what? Why not? Why not? Okay? But that's for my brothers. That's for my people that's going on. All right. The last thing I'm going to share with you, and I'm going to get out your way, okay, is that Sister Tyson was in a movie called Family Reunion. And in that movie, she quoted a message to the people at the family reunion. And I want to share that with you, what it says, because I thought it was real powerful. Okay? But what it says is that family reunion is about uniting the family, bringing together the young and the old, singing and dancing and thanking God. As we marched up the road this afternoon, what we saw was young men gambling, fighting, cussing, and women with no clothes on, gyrating all over the place. What happened to us, she said. Who are you? Do you know who you are? I heard Jarrell say, do you know who you are? Wow. What happened to the pride, to the dignity, the love and respect we had for one another? Where did it go? And how do we get it back? She said, I'm going to tell you how we get it back. She said, young black men, take your place. Young black men, take your place. We need you. Your sons and your daughters need you. It's now time for you to take your place. Start now. Young black women, you are more than just your thighs and your hips. That's what she said. I didn't say that. I just said what she said. You are more than your thighs and your hips. You are beautiful. You are strong. You are powerful. And I want more from you. Take your place. I want every single one of you. Young man, young woman, turn to the next person sitting next to you on both sides of you. Grab them and hug them and tell them that you love them. Tell them if they need anything, come to me. If you need something to talk to, someone to talk to, come to me. I'll feed you and clothe you if I need to. That's how we stop it. From this moment, when you leave this community today, take that with you. Amen? All right. One more thing I want to share, and I'm going to close. This is it right here. This is a little quote that I always say at the end of when I'm speaking. It says, do all the good you can. By all the means you can. In all the ways you can. To all the people you can. As long as you can. Thank y'all for the opportunity.